That ongoing fear of a lot, 16% of our private sector being taken over by the government.
You know, the whole term death panels was brought up by Governor Palin. I think Governor Palin's analysis was right. That was in the original bill that came out, end-of-life counseling, whatever you want to call it. Our military and veterans hospitals, your life, your choices. It talks about you don't want to be a burden to your family. Now, I know you support this nationalized health care, but does that concern you?
Look, death panels is just a cheap scare tactic. The insurance companies make choices every day. It's the insurance companies that get between the doctor and the patient. What I like about the plan we've got on the table right now is it's going to rationalize this in a really good way. It's going to take the best practices from around the country. I think it'll be great for our seniors and great for patients.
Right, you want to demonize the insurance companies. By the way, I think there can be improvement in the insurance companies. I think we could take care of the uninsured, which is about 13 million, not 30, not 47 million. But, you know, this is one of the great fears we have, that the government's going to take on something they cannot ultimately afford. In Great Britain, they literally have decided women with breast cancer will not get the medicine they need. That's a death sentence.
I just did a blog on my parenting website about a woman that, you know, they have a cutoff that they won't help preemies prior to 22 weeks, and a woman had a baby just prior to 22 weeks.
This was in the Daily Mail, I read it.
Yes, it was, and she had to hold that baby for 2 hours until it passed away, and nobody gave it help. I put that on the parenting blog, and liberals, conservatives alike, when they hear that story, they see the reality of what can happen, and it scares the heck out of moms.
All right, now, one of the things that you challenged Joe Lieberman. And by the way, to your credit, you had a pretty tight primary match with Joe. I think it was 4 points or at the time. And you were considered the left candidate. Joe Lieberman was not considered, you know, left enough. So here we have this bill. The Baucus bill is passed, but we've got House Democrats saying they're not going to vote for any bill that doesn't have a government option. So you got a big internal battle within your Democratic Party. How does that play out?
Look, Joe has been in Congress for 20 years, and he never found the health care reform that he has supported.
Forget about Joe Lieberman. I'm talking generally. Some Democrats are demanding the government option. Others are saying, no way, it's not going to happen.
Look, I believe that, you know, the problem in the health care debate is just what the costs are. The costs are driving small businesses like mine, you know, underwater.
You're not answering my question. How does the Democratic Party reconcile these two very distinct philosophies?
Look, I think the Baucus bill makes an awful lot of sense. I think the Baucus bill is the way that we're going to start paying for quality instead of paying for quantity. I think it's going to provide broader health coverage for all of Americans.
Let me ask the question. Nancy Pelosi and Anthony Weiner said they're not going to support a bill that doesn't have a government option. The Baucus bill doesn't have the government option. How do the Democrats reconcile that?
Look, from my point of view, I'm a small business guy. My costs went up 30% this year. I'd be delighted if I could buy into anything that reduced the cost of health care for my company,
you have not been elected a politician? You have not answered my question.
I'm just saying I think a public option would be a good alternative for us.
How does the Democrats reconcile this you know, opposition they have, the internal squabble that they have?
There's one of two ways. They either reconcile it in reconciliation when they all come together and decide this is something that we want to do. They want to completely leave Republicans out of the process and push something through that they know a vast majority of the American public won't support.
Well, the Blue Dogs, I think, are walking the plank. And I think we're going to see the first evidence of this in the Virginia and New Jersey gubernatorial races. Very close. I think it's a referendum on Obama. So will the Blue Dog Democrats walk the plank and support a government option?
I don't think so. It would be at their peril because this is an economic issue. It's financial. People are very concerned about the cost and the impact it's going to have on their family. There was a study that came out today that on the Baucus effort that it could be $4,000 more for family in terms of increased premiums. People want to know the details before they're going to support that. And those guys, and every member of Congress is concerned right now. Any incumbent should be.
They're mad that they're not trying other methods that don't cost money. Like, how about, you know, across state lines? How about improving health savings accounts? American families are having to cut back and find creative ways to save money, and it seems like our government is not interested in looking in other ways.
The Republicans had the House, they had the Senate, they had the presidency for years. That's why Bill Frist has come on board and been supportive of the Baucus plan. That's why Bob Dole.
I just interviewed him.
That's why Tommy Thompson. That's why you have a fair number of Republicans who are really strongly sympathetic to what we're trying to do.
I've interviewed. That's not true. What you just said. All right, let me move on here and just just say this. All right, so there's a war at the White House. They don't want to worry about, I guess, Afghanistan's not a big enough problem. Iraq is not a big enough problem. Unemployment that wasn't supposed to go above 8, that's not a big enough problem. They want to go after the Fox News channel. But similarly, now that PricewaterhouseCoopers comes out with this report that says that this bill is going to cost families $20,000 over the 8, 9, 10-year period of time, now they're attacking them and the Politico reports there may be payback for PricewaterhouseCoopers, that now lawmakers might go after the insurance companies as a result of them taking a position against the government.
Kill the messenger. Kill the messenger. That's what they want to do. But the point is that the American families are concerned. This is going to be the first generation that we're going to break this promise to our kids of leaving a better future than we started with. And this is what parents are concerned about. And it's about the price tag.
But wait a minute. That sounds like an enemies list. Oh, wait. I thought liberals were against enemies lists. Do you want a Republican administration going after NBC? Targeting them? Do you want an administration going after MoveOn.org or you or anybody else by saying, quote, there may be some retribution because you speak out against them? I would assume you're with me on this.
The report that they're quoting was just paid for by the insurance industry. You know, follow the money. There's no retribution. I don't think anybody's going to worry about that.
From the Politico, they're saying that there may be legislative payback for releasing the PricewaterhouseCoopers report, that they predicted liberal lawmakers, quote, will go harder after the insurance companies. They have opened themselves up.
It's opened themselves up to criticism. This is an administration that never...
to legislative retribution.
Well, no, but the administration has never... no administration wants to be criticized, but this is very true in the case of I would call it an enemies list. There's no doubt about that, of putting together the sources that are critical. Remember, the Obama administration were the media darlings, and many in the media came out and said, you know what, that wasn't fair. We weren't treating them fairly. I think in this case, the more we know and the more transparent they are about this type of criticism, it would behoove them.
Well, there's no enemies list. The point is that the cost of health care is more than doubled as a percentage of the GDP. It's killing us. It's killing small businesses, hurting our ability to compete.
Your tax dollars, well, actually, it's probably Republicans' tax. The people that pay taxes now are funding a website that attacks the Fox News channel. Do you think that's an appropriate use of funds by the government?
I don't know what the government is doing Fox News channel. The Fox News channel obviously has an agenda. That's okay.
NBC doesn't have an agenda?
I don't think anybody is attacking. I think what they're saying is calling a spade a spade.
All right, so when a Republican gets in office, we'll use your money to attack that news organization. That's fair with you?
I don't think anybody's attacking you.
I'm letting you on this. You're on the Fox News channel right now, and you're a left-wing radical.
I'm your token liberal, and I'm delighted to be here.
Oh, good grief. All right, we'll take a break. More with our great American panel straight ahead.